I've been seeing a lot of stuff all summer by high value men, what you bring to the table. Always asking women what they bring to the table. We very rarely ask men what they bring to the table.
There's actually more good in the world. I believe there's actually more good in the world, period, than bad. We just focus on the bad.
Yeah.
Because it's so bad that that's all we know, and we forget about all of the good.
If I sit here and take care of you, he said, when I walk out that door, you can't ask me nothing. You can't ask me when I'm coming home. If I'm coming home, you can't ask me nothing. Really?
Like, I think a lot of single mother homes, a lot of them have never seen healthy relationships. That we don't know what that looks like. And if you look like society, you go off of society, you gonna be lost. So I wanted to read y'all first what the dictionary says a high value man. And then what the description of a high value woman is. And the so a high value man is. This is Legra.
This is Stephanie.
This is Cherie.
And this is Ivania.
And this is Timeless and Unfiltered, where we are spilling the tea on midlife, one laugh at a time. Hey everybody, this is Legra with Timeless and Unfiltered.
This is Stephanie.
This is Cherie.
This is Ivania.
And we are here to spill the tea on midlife,
one laugh at a time.
All right, ladies, we're gonna deep dive into some stuff. We might as well just jump right in for this season 2.
We talking crap.
Okay, so all summer I have been hearing about high value men and what women want in this high value man. And y'all know I go down the rabbit hole. You know, sometimes when
yeah, she starts certain and we start getting texts. Look at this. Phone down.
That's because all that stupid stuff be popping up on my phone, especially the lady that be reading the books.
Oh, yeah.
The little children's books.
Oh, I love that.
The little children's books, but they nasty.
Yeah,
that just cracks me up all the time. But I've been seeing a lot of stuff all summer by high value men. A lot of stuff about what you bring to the table. Like always asking women what they bring to the table. We very rarely ask men what they bring to the table.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Women, what they bring to the table. And y'all know, like I said, I go down the rabbit hole and I start watching all my little, I love all my little ratchet stuff. I don't post it, but I love it.
That's your guilty pleasure.
That's my guilty pleasure. That's my break where I need to take a break for a minute. I just go down the rabbit hole. And I'm always watching the episodes with the gold digger pranks, which is probably one of my favorite. But at the same time, it gets on my nerves. Like I be rooting for the young girls like, okay, she's not gonna be a gold digger. She's not gonna be a gold digger. And they get in the car. Well, first of all, they see a gentleman walks up to him, introduces himself. Hi, I'm so-and-so, or whatever. You look beautiful today. Are you talking to me? I can't believe you even talking to me. And he's like, what are you talking about? I just said, hi, how you doing? No, you don't look like you don't have no money. You don't look like you.
That's so terrible.
That's the opening hello.
Do you think that's a skit or is it real?
No, I'm telling you. I really don't think so.
I don't think all of them that terrible.
Well, no, they usually have they have the camera across the street. They have a guy usually, and sometimes he'll say like, because a couple of them get wild, and he'll be like, "Ma'am, you're being recorded." There's and he'll point out the cameraman across the street.
But he would have to tell them that anyway, because you can't just post random people.
Why you can't?
You could get their permission after.
Well, you don't even have to have their permission.
Like,
no, I don't think you have to.
I'm gonna sue you.
You walking down the sidewalk and you have
anywhere, everywhere.
Yeah, you walking down the sidewalk. I introduce myself. I say hello. You tell me how. Well, a couple people are like, I don't like fat boys, or I don't like this, I don't like that. And he'd be like, you know what? I'm sorry. You have a good day. And she'd keep walking. Now, first of all, let's start with that. She walking. Let's start with that. And then secondly, then he goes to his Lamborghini, or he goes to his, whatever car he's driving. And you will see them young ladies turn around. Sometimes they run, sprinting back. Now he in the car, they tapping on the window. And it's my guilty pleasure because I love it. But sometimes I be sitting there rooting for them. Like, come on now, we not this bad, y'all. We really not this bad. But yeah, it's that bad. And of course, everybody, all of this, and shaking their butt. He'll say, do a 360. And she do a 360. It's hot out here. I need to be able to get in the car. Can I get in the car? God. And sometimes he lets them in, sometimes they let him in. And it's not just one person. There's several people that do these, and they do them like they're in Atlanta, they in Dallas, they in Houston, they're all over the place. That's what I said. First of all, you're walking.
People.
You're walking. And then they get in the car and he's like, and he's like, well, want to get to know you or whatever. I like shopping. I like trips. Wow. Let's go on over here. And he said, well, where you want to go get something to eat? Let's go to Steak 48.
Oh, wow.
Let's go to, and he's like, no, okay. Wow. And some just outright you're going to pay my bills.
Wow.
You're not going to pay my bills. You're not going to whatever. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. And I'll be sitting there going, he'd be like, well, what'd you bring to the table? I'm pretty.
Wow.
I'm pretty, my presence, literally. But that's all. And so, but I love is one guy, and I'm not going to say his name, but I love it. He said, okay, so you're basically a pretty bum.
Oh. I felt that.
I love it. This is my guilty pleasure. Jesus. So, and they're always asking, well, what do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? So you always keep hearing about high value men, and you'll hear the women say, they looking for a high value man. But obviously because there's a couple older women walking down the street. But it's a few older women walking down the street that they stop and they still say the same thing. So, but my thought was, what I thought of that was high value when I was 20 and 30.
Right.
Ain't the same high value that I think of at 55. No, now this is my thought. This is very generalization. So I wanted to read y'all first what the dictionary says a high value man is, and then what the description of a high value woman is.
And the dictionary?
Yes, a high value. So a high value man is a person with strong character, integrity, emotional maturity, and purpose-driven life who possesses self-control, discipline, and respect for himself as others. This concept is subjective, but generally includes traits as ambition, strong work ethic, ethical behavior, clear values, excellent communication skills, and ability to build positive relationships. The mark of a true high value man is the ability to generate a six-figure income consistently for at least 3 years in a row. If you make at least $100,000 a year for at least 3 years, you've ruled out luck and an anomaly.
So are we high value women?
Hello. So a high value woman is characterized by her self-worth, her maturity, her confidence, her emotional stability, and commitment to personal growth. She possesses strong communication skills, sets healthy boundaries, and expects respectful treatment. She is independent, has her own interests and career, and maintains a positive, compassionate outlook on life while also taking responsibility for her actions.
That definition is, what's the word? Misogynistic.
Hello.
Fuck. It is.
So this whole
wow, that's in the dictionary.
Yes, this whole idea of a high value man.
Oh wow.
Versus the high value woman. But how is your you still like that?
Taken aback.
But it's the contrast in my opinion, of what's considered high value. Now, for me, high value at 20s, I don't know, what might have been income.
Because
partly income.
I wasn't worried about how much somebody made back in the day. I just, you love me, I love you, and that was cool. So
it was a different
So what's high value to you now? What's a high value man to
somebody
you now?
That can pour into me. Because what I realized is at this age, I've been through life. I've raised kids. I've worked, gone through menopause, and started businesses and did all this myself. So what can a man bring to me at this age? Someone that can pour into me. Because I'm a sapiosexual, so I need you to teach me something. I want to learn from you. Like, to me, that's high value. I don't care how much money you make and stuff like that. Because I know we can combine and do what we got to do together. But I need you to pour into me. And that's what I consider.
What do you need them to pour into you? When you say pour into you, what do you need them to pour into you?
Because I'm turned on by intellectual conversations and banter. So if you could talk to me about worldly things, talk to me about politics, teach me something I don't know. So my last relationship, most people, might have looked at him like, oh, he was just a regular. That man was so smart. He was so smart, and he poured into me, and I was like, oh my God. And so because I like to teach people whatever he taught me, I was Did you know that if there was an apocalyptic situation, that if you go near the driveway, you can find worms to eat? Like, it's weird stuff like that was so dope to me. So I'm teaching people you can live on worms, like, but you got to be next to the semen. That's where they are. Like, I would have never known that. Like,
yeah, I don't know if I need to know that right now, but I'm remember that if it ever happens.
Y'all get some worms and eat. You get your protein. You can live. But things like that was such a turn on to me. And I'm like, oh my God. So I need you to pour it.
I'm sorry.
This story just went so
I know this story just went whole left.
But that's my pouring into me. Just be able to talk to me and teach me something. I want to learn.
Okay.
I feel like I've always taught everybody, my kids, people. And I'm like, I want somebody to teach me. Like, I want someone to teach me.
Well, I'm going to piggyback off of something you just said, because you said, I know the last guy that I dated, everybody thought, what was the word she just used? Everybody thought, he was just a regular guy.
Yeah.
Or something. Well, I'm going to tell you from the outside looking in at your relationship. I never looked at him as a regular guy. I thought he was amazing. Hold on, let me finish. Amazing from the outside looking in. I'm not in your relationship, so I don't know the relationship parts of it. What I didn't like was not that he was a regular guy. What I didn't like was how you shared how you felt with him.
What do you mean?
Like some of the insecurities.
On his end.
Yeah, but it also affected you.
Because I had to keep hearing about it.
That's what I'm saying. But it affected you. So it wasn't that he was a regular guy. I love a man to work with his hands. Let's start with that. I love a man. Come fix some shit.
I love everything he did.
Hello, come fix some shit.
Yeah.
I still need some shit fixed, but out of respect, I can't call him. But you know what I'm saying? I still need some shit fixed. But I love a man that worked with his hands. I've never been about what his job was or what his career was. I love country boy. I love a country boy. He was a good old country boy or whatever. But what I didn't like, and again, this is the outside looking in.
Yes, it's the outside looking in.
The outside looking in, all I'd look at is how does my friend, who are you when you're with him? That's the only thing that's ever was important to me.
Together.
Okay, you know how your mama say, you know how when you're in a relationship with somebody and when y'all have a fight, your mama say, don't tell me?
Yeah.
Because when you share certain things about when your relationship is bad and now y'all back together.
Y'all moved on.
Right, y'all done moved on. Your friends are still in this space. So when I say what I felt was I didn't like some of the things that you shared with your friends of how you felt.
Yeah.
Because I don't want nobody that's gonna make my friend not feel sexy in the bomb and you that bitch and you know what I'm saying? That's what makes me like him. Yeah. So it wasn't that he was an ordinary guy. It was, I don't like how you make my friend feel. Now y'all might have moved on.
He projected that every time we was out, he just had something to say about how he looked with me. Then I was like, God, Jesus, like, stop. It's okay. I love you. That's all that matters.
And I've never liked to be in a situation where I have to feel like I have to dim my light. And you know what I'm saying? Just period. That person that you're with should make you shine. And sometimes I felt like and this is only based off of our conversations, let me back that up. Your conversations, because we just usually sat and listened. I didn't like how you felt you had to dim your shine. But it wasn't that I didn't like him.
Because you the shit. For real.
Bitch. The shit.
You are.
And I didn't like sometimes that you didn't feel that way. You know what I'm saying? And that's just based off of what you shared with us. Wasn't that he was a regular guy. So I wanted to clear that up because when you said that, like, I know people thought he was just a regular guy. I liked he was a regular guy. I didn't like how he made my friend feel, or at least what she shared with us.
But again, that was his projection.
Yes.
I think that I always had that he felt.
Right.
He would use the word, I feel like the help. I look like the help. And I'm like,
not at all.
So that started wearing on me, after a while.
But let me say something, because I was sitting over here looking.
Read that high value crap.
When you look at so first of all, I think we take a lot of things and they just become popular, like narcissists. You know, nobody's a therapist, but now everybody's a therapist. Everybody's a narcissist, or this whole high value thing. I guess it's the term. Hell, I didn't even know what none of this was, but I just started hearing it. But when you was reading this, and when I look at this, I think for me, from our era, I think from probably our mothers.
That's what
I'm not sure that the term, I mean, that is what they're using now, a high value man. But really, this is just a person with good character.
Hello.
A good provider. I mean, you threw in the only thing that's different is making $100,000 a year for 3. Who the hell made that up?
Money.
Because now, I will say something, and you and I have talked about this before. But when we talk about strong work ethic, self-control, discipline, respect for himself and others, ambitious, isn't that what anybody would want and value, right? For me,
you would think.
For me personally, you know, and I have that now, but I need somebody who's intentional.
Yes.
That I know that they see me.
We all like,
right?
The church say amen.
That will take care of me.
Yeah.
$5, $10, $20, right? I'm going to get 19 and they'll keep the dollar. Not that that's how I want it to happen, but my point is, right, I think that when I was younger, I don't think I know. When I was younger, none of this would have applied to me. I couldn't bring this to the table. So if somebody had a lot, including the money, the confidence, the emotional maturity, and I'm just being 100 right now. I wasn't that girl that could bring it to the table.
Right.
So attracting a high value, whatever, I was in my struggle. You know what I mean? Like I was just in the struggle trying to find somebody to get the things, the bills paid with me, because I wasn't shown this, taught this, understood this, know this. So a lot of times when we look at some of the young girls, they don't have anything to bring to the table, but they looking for everything. Let's take everything out, because I think that as people, we would want, male or female.
Yeah, you would want all of that.
Attributes.
Yeah.
But you looking for the 100,000 and the this, that, and the third, but you're not bringing, you can't even figure out how to bring it to the table.
Right.
And in my transparency, I know I couldn't. But all of this is new for me. Today, I am those things now, right? I get it. I understand it. Not judging anybody for having it or not. I think we grow into different spaces. But to define this is where a person is and that's where a person is, overall, there's just certain characters and characteristics that we just want. And there's also things that we have to do the work, because Lord knows I've done a lot of work. We have to do the work to get to those spaces where when we see it, what I did, I attracted it because I grew. I took time down to myself to get therapy, to understand who I am, to understand the things that I didn't have and what I was never taught, and some of these terms, it's just like, what the hell is that? But
what does that mean?
What I do know, without saying high value, I do know that there were certain things that I lacked. There was certain, so I couldn't call that to me. How could I call something to me that I don't even know what it is? And it just took sitting by myself, getting to know who I am, what I want. And then I just woke up one day and I had it, because in some ways I think I called it to me by doing the work. So
She's like,
you know, we just make up these things, and then you have all of these
and not everybody's talking about it.
Who say, or who was the guy? God rest his soul, but who was the guy who passed?
Kevin Samuels.
Who, you know,
they were like Kevin Samuels.
Who would beat women to death about who you are and what you look like and what you were not. And I don't really know his story or what was happening, how robust that thing was and what people said. But what I know is that, we have to do the work first. I think no matter where you are, you have to do the work. But if you ask me today, when you talk about this high value man situation, we fit in this category.
Yeah,
But
we
we're
do.
moved down here. Is it because we're women?
Yeah.
Hello.
That's why I said it's misogynistic.
Hello.
Because we're not supposed to earn and we're not supposed to take the lead and manage our own lives. I think they look to the men to do that, the high value men. But to me, that's just him being a provider. What they explained to me is back in the day, you got a dude that was going to take care of the woman and I'm going to lead and do this. And then she's at home with the kids.
Because men were providers,
And
financial providers.
Yes.
Let's start with
yes.
that.
yeah, that's all that's saying. And I guess it's still in that mindset.
Just different times.
Yeah,
It's just
it's
different
times.
eras, different times. And I think that's just a new term.
But we talked about that, but then what about men feeling that they have to be needed? Has that changed, or they still feel like they need to be needed now?
they-
Well, I think even from a male, men and women, I think you have to feel like you're being needed. But a lot of times, I think in this modern society, need is financial. So when a woman comes and she don't financially need you for things like I don't need you to pay my bills. I could take you out to eat. I planned us a vacation and it's already paid for. Like then somehow it's translated into financial. But again, we get back to that. Traditionally, men were providers. Women stayed at home. We took care of the home. Now, again, we can get into this whole back and forth. It's pros and cons to both sides of it. Because if we're gonna listen to what society tell us men gonna cheat.
Oh yeah.
They do.
Men gonna cheat. So what do you do when a woman who has nothing, who her whole life depends on her husband because he's the provider? That's why I think you've had a lot of women who stayed because they had no choice.
Yeah, that happens.
Who put up with shit that they had to because they had no choice, because you've never had a job, or you had minimal jobs, or you have all the children at home, you don't have, you know what I'm saying? So there's pros and cons to both sides of that. There's pros and cons to both sides of that. So I think it also depends on how you were raised. I was raised by a boss. That's the only way I could describe her. You know what I'm saying? I was raised by a boss. You need to always have your own. I don't care how much he has. I don't care what he has. You should always have your own, and you should always be able to take care of yourself. And you should never be left in a situation where you have to put up with anything. Now, does that make me less of a nurturer? No. Does that make me less of my feminine energy? Right.
Yeah.
And not that you have to have all these walls up. Not that you have to have walls up, but I've always been taught to be self-sufficient. Now, have I always been self-sufficient? No. I didn't have all that either. Like you said, I had to grow into it. I had to learn. And, and after my divorce, I didn't have a thing, you know what I'm saying? And trying to build your life back up. And I relied on family and I relied on friends to help me get through it. But eventually you got to get through it. You got to be trying to work towards something, not just saying I'm pretty.
Right.
Or not just, I have to give you sex. I ain't trying to be funny. He give you sex. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody else giving it away.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Sex is a dime a dozen. It can't be about sex. I mean, you can have all the sex in the world, but that's not going to keep him at home. But does that make you less valuable because
No, it don't.
because you don't need him financially?
But what has made me go hard in my life was being that stay-at-home mom. I didn't have to work. Because he took care of me. And he stayed messing with a million people. And it's like, I take care of you and I give you everything you want. You got your house, you got your cars. Yeah, and I can go do what I want to do. And being with him and going through that and all the cheating, all the shit that came with, I was like, I will never solely be dependent on a man.
That was in your 20s?
Yes. And that is why I go so hard to take care of me and my kids, even with a partner. Like, nah, I'm doing something because, and then I was during my breakup, we arguing or whatever, and he said one of the worst things they could have did was invented women's lib.
That's so ignorant. I'm sorry.
Because he basically like, you should take my shit
Thank you.
and not say nothing. Like you, and I was like, really?
Wow.
And then we had a conversation.
I'm
He
like,
said-
not everything nice I just said about him. I gotta take it back. No, I'm just
He
kidding.
said because I was like, well, you know, men were the providers. They're supposed to, you know, earn more than women and take. He said, let me tell you something. If I sit here and take care of you, he said, when I walk out that door, you can't ask me nothing. You can't ask me when I'm coming home. If I'm coming home, you can't ask me nothing. I was like, really? Like, that was his mindset. He was like, no, if I take care of you, I can
Well, he
run
just said it out
around
loud.
and
What does
do
that paper have to
everything.
say? Emotional maturity.
Baby, and
first
I
one.
was like, wow.
Because being loyal.
Because one of the things
No,
that
not
Stephanie
loyal. But it
said-
says self-control. It says self-control, and you need to have control not to be out there in the
doesn't
street.
necessarily-
But they feel like that they got women and they taking care of you. I can do whatever I want to do, and you can't say nothing.
Okay,
And you
now
gotta
let's-
sit here and take
Can I
it.
say something?
Yeah,
to
go
you?
ahead, go ahead.
I don't believe that all men cheat.
I don't
You
either.
said-
Maybe
I mean,
not.
I don't
No,
either.
no,
Yeah, I mean,
no.
but
I'm being
all the
funny.
time in
I'm
every
being funny.
relationship.
I don't
But
either.
oh, okay. Because when you said that, I looked like
I'm like, they do. Because it's a whole little thing. I think Kevin Hart, somebody had something that all men don't cheat. Like, it was a whole little funny thing.
Charlamagne.
Was it
You
Charlamagne?
know.
Yeah, it was a funny. That's
Yeah.
why I was like,
I mean,
being
men,
funny.
women, whoever. You know what I mean? I just really don't believe that. I think that
There's some good ones.
there are. You know
Absolutely.
what? There's actually more good in the world. I believe.
Yes.
There's actually more good in the world, period, than bad. We just, and y'all know this, we focus on the bad.
Yeah.
Because it's so bad that that's all we know.
Yeah.
And we forget about all of the good. I don't think, I
No,
definitely.
because my son is not a cheater. And I'm
Yeah.
thankful for that. He's so great. He's like his mom. We'll hunker down with somebody and just ride it out. We ain't cheat. We ain't think about. So, yeah, my son, he's not a cheater.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I think he'll grow up to
I
continue
believe
that
there's very
behavior,
good,
too.
disciplined.
Yeah. yeah.
Sharice is on this definition.
Discipline.
She on this definition,
You know what?
honey.
I also taught my son growing up too, and I would tell him, like, if they caught me crying or whatever, and I would always tell him, never treat a girl the way you wouldn't want nobody treating your mom or your sisters. Like, don't cheat, don't hurt her. And I think that like stuck with him because he been with this girl like 5 years. Mm-hmm. Straight out of high school, and they don't have problems.
So what the dads are teaching them though? What do the dads teach their boys about women? Like,
Well, I think a lot of we have a lot of single mother homes.
Yeah.
A lot of them have never seen it.
They have.
And I'm just going to be honest, like a lot of us haven't seen healthy relationships. That we don't know what that looks like. And if you
No
look
idea
out,
what
if you
one
look
look
like
like.
society, you go off of society, you going to be
jacked
lost.
Up. You jacked up.
You're going to be lost.
I had no idea what a healthy relationship looked like. Which is why it just took so long to figure it out. You know what I mean? And understand it, because what is that? For me, that's what it was for me.
And I didn't provide my kids with an example, but every time I went through some hurt or something, I would talk to them like, when you get older, don't allow this. It's like, as
Now, what do you mean you
learned
didn't provide them with an example?
of like two parents together, loving in a home and stuff, I didn't. Dad was in and out of jail. It was always me by myself. And then, like I said, I didn't bring men around my kids. I was real, like, I ain't playing around with that. So it wasn't until they got older that, because I told you for a minute, my daughter had pulled out her computer, was like, hey, you ever thought of online dating? Like, my kids was trying
Right,
to put
trying
me
to-
on. I'm like,
Mama can get what she wants. You just don't see
y'all
it.
not gonna have nobody around y'all. Y'all little versions of me. Like, I'm not bringing nobody around y'all. So I taught from my experience with them, and then it wasn't until they got older that they started seeing me like in relationships with people and things like that. But
So Mama was out in them streets. She was crawling out the window and sneaking back in the house, and
kids,
and that's what my mother told me. She's like,
yeah,
yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
And then the men would feel bad. You must have a man at home. You always getting up, leaving. No, I got kids.
You got kids.
I want my kids to see you. Like, no.
Yeah. But yeah, that
They didn't see that.
that debate just always stressed me out. Now we can go into a whole nother. We're gonna address this on the next issue. We're gonna talk about high value women. Okay? Because I ain't trying to be funny. I think I got 4 high value women sitting on the couch.
I know that.
Because if we're going to let's use the definition of a man.
But I think that's up the whole interpretation.
Right.
What a high value woman
What?
is.
That's what I'm saying.
Correct.
I said,
Man may
I
not
think.
feel like we're high value.
And that's the issue. That's the question. Because all these traits that we read for the man, including the income. Hello? Including the income is a high value woman. But why are we looked at differently? Why are we looked at differently?
Little men in a women's body.
Right. And why does that make you less of a woman? That you can't be in your feminine energy when you have to be the man of your house all the time. But the right man brings that feminine energy out of you. Okay. Oh, you saying you become a flower? So look, we'll talk about that on the next We'll talk about that on the next episode because we're gonna be here for 2 hours when we talk about this one. So this is Timeless and Unfiltered. This is Legra.
I'm Stephanie.
I'm Sharice.
And we're gonna spill the tea on this bullshit on the next episode. One laugh at a
We
time.
ain't laughing though. We ain't laughing.
Bye y'all.